Alright, good evening everybody. System Chalk here with the 64th episode of Cultist Simulator, playing the Dancer DLC as Margaret Zell. Now it's very late at night, so I hope you're all feeling a little bit more refreshed and active than I am. We're going to do our best to have a good session tonight. However, it does mean that I may be a little bit more prone to pausing for a sip of tea every once in a while, because it's really the only thing that's going to keep me awake. And I have been a little sneezy lately, so I'm hoping not to blast you too much, but for those of you trying to get to sleep, just a caution, you may want to turn the volume down a little bit in case. But again, I try to at least move away from the microphone because I don't have an option to immediately mute. So, that out of the way, let's think about our next few steps. So we are just waiting to get our loot from the location. Lagoons Tomb is the last, sort of the last of the main expeditions we're going to go on. We do have some texts that I need to read. However, I have also been working on trying to upgrade the Vagabond's map to report new anecdote. There's actually something very specific about those anecdotes too that's going to come into play, but I can show you that at the time. We've been working on repairing mirrors, although at some point I'm going to need to get rid of the evidence. And then I think we're about to get hit by some sadness in terms of the restlessness, but let's just see what we've got timing-wise. I might actually be able to sneak a cheeky painting in. 59.3. I'm a little worried about it, but let's give this a shot. Well, for 2 Mystique. The question is, where do I get the contentment to deal with the dread? Well, maybe the answer to that is I don't, and I just use that in a... I just bring someone into the cult if I need to worry about it. That's probably the better answer, so no, we are going to go back to the gaiety. The stage awaits hot and clean and bare and bright. If I move the moves and step the steps and do what is required, they'll pay me. My follower needs a bronze Spintrea or better to complete their task. And I have a watchman's glass, so we should also be using the peacock's door. The peacock's door reflects the mirror I hold in my sleep. The mirror reflects the peacock's door. Already a sensuous shiver ripples its surface. It aches for fracture, and when it finds that satisfaction, I will enter. I forgot that we also have an affliction, so maybe if we get lucky with the dance, we'll see. The mirror is repaired. It shines again as it did once before. Now I think there was somebody I can get a commission from. Let's take a quick look. Dr. Redeem? No, he wants the lantern, but Madame Bichet probably. Well, we can turn it in, I guess. Oh yeah, no, Count Jennings isn't quite ready yet. So I have a little time on the affliction. We'll see if we can get an inexpensive cure. I received the currency of the secret world, and my patron has let tantalizing information slip. So again, more mystique, not exactly at the time we need it, but we've got it. And this is a puzzle with missing pieces. I might find those pieces in odd corners of scholarship. So let's just find the glimmering that's about to expire. And a long feast. Beneath the granary, we find the deepest secret of Masana, an altar on which are displayed segments of an embalmed human body. Little of it still remains. The visitors must have been feasting on this for years. Is it long flesh? That might account for their longevity. Okay, we'll get a commission from Jennings, and not much to report as far as the... Well, I messed that up. Not much to report as far as the health is concerned, so let's go... We'll do the lantern commission. But I'm sort of at a loss in terms of what I might do to find an inexpensive solution to the affliction. I think we're probably just going to have to pay up for this one. Well, we might get some heart from the expedition now that I think of it. Okay, I pretty much need to have this talk verb. I should always have it doing something because we've got mirrors to repair. So let's find Tristan again. And one more Wilder mirror, please. I think I was still heading to the Worm Museum. Size in the mantis is negotiable, and so last night in the Worm Museum I saw one of the worms who took Vienna, caged next to a worm taken from the soul of a child. In dreams they are more visible than waking, smooth and dark as jewels. The walls bear stories of the First and Second Worm Wars. The third is too recent to have passed into the histories. Alright, so we're going to be able to do another upgrade. I am also going to want to work on the Forbidden Epics, but if I'm going to be trying to get a Port Noon anecdote, it makes as much sense for me to deal with the Vagabonds map first. Okay, got that. Season of Suspicion coming up, so that does mean that I'm going to run the risk of having this turn into damning evidence. That's fine because we've got Skin Twisters. It should be the easiest thing in the world for us to deal with evidence, but still worth keeping in mind. 140 seconds left on the Affliction, so we will give this another shot. And the Peacock's door reflects the mirror I hold in my sleep, and the mirror reflects the Peacock's door. Already a sensuous shiver ripples its surface, it aches for fracture, and when it finds that satisfaction, I will enter. Items of note are displayed along the walls. They might be trophies from unwise travelers, or they might have been in possessions of the Long. There is no indication whether the Long was a willing victim, an ancestor, or a prisoner, and we'll learn nothing from the villagers now. A Greek inscription for the altar reads, "For the Flood." So another batch of books, the Songs of the Carapace Cross. The Sevenfold Slaying of the Seven Coiled. Seven Coiled has been coming up quite a bit in the last few episodes. The Kingskin, I still am bad at pronouncing this. I've heard Boran, also Bodran, but I think Boran is probably closer. Anyways, definitely better than the Wakeful Tympanum. I know it's a drum, but anyways. In the deep forest, the monarch gave up the last thing they had to give, and so the tool was shaped to keep their land forever safe. Then, of course, an empire stole it, as empires do. Okay, let's go on to Lagoon's tomb. A low slope-sided rectangle of mud brick in an obscure fold of the desert. It was not remarkable to look at, but Lagoon was counted among the immortal Long, and no robber has ever breached his tomb. Lagoon's tomb will be difficult to find in the desert. We must navigate by the stars. Its door has long resisted the assaults of tomb robbers. We must bring what force we can. There will likely be a curse. We must be prepared for it. So, all of my favorite things. Forge is definitely something we're going to need for that. We'll play the rest by ear. No further along my path of change. In the movements of the secret forms, I must find my lesson. So we'll see if we can turn this restlessness into something. And we do have the threat of dread, so I am going to need to figure out... I'm going to need to kind of figure out everything that I'm working with. Wow, they really went for that notoriety. Okay. This is a puzzle with missing pieces. I might find those pieces in the odd corners of scholarship. This is one for the library, and I finished the manuscript. Alright. So we have got quite a bit on our plate. I'm going to perform at the Gaiety. The stage awaits, hot and clean and bare and bright. If I move the moves and step the steps and do what is required, they'll pay me. We're probably going to use Dream with the Affliction. I actually have enough time... Yeah, I actually have enough time to give this one more shot at the Gaiety, so I should try that. I do need to get rid of the restless... Actually, come to think of it, I don't think I have a way of dealing with both the restlessness and the dread at the same time. I probably should have painted away the restlessness. Okay, but that's fine. It just means that I need to do a painting to get rid of the dread that I do get hit by. Sorry, the expedition continues. So, warded door, an engineer or an adept has ensured that this door will not open easily. Forge or knock will defeat it. We have desolation again, an immense and tawny furnace barely contained by its horizons. At night, a chilly wilderness of stars. And finally, the dry soul curse, heart or lantern to suppress the curse, so we're good for heart. I think in this case we will add the funds because it's really Forge that's going to be the star on this one. Speaking of Forge, another bronze Spintrea for Tristan's work. I was kind of hoping for fascination actually, but... Amaranthine nectar. When I visited the Red Church last night, they told me, between their clawings and their caresses, that the flower maker had visited but lately. With this nectar and his promise, I woke twinned in sodden sheets. With the amaranthine nectar brimming in my hand, I captured what I could of it. Only a few drops, but it will be enough. Okay, so I do still have time on the affliction, 27 seconds for the dance, so maybe let's leave the dream slot open for now. There it is that it? We're practical souls, strong in Forge. We should be able to make it between the baking rocks to the green places, and if we add one more Forge follower, Laidlaw in this case. Our Forge skills should keep us safe and lead us through the baking rocks to the green places. We'll almost certainly be fine. So we'll get hit by our first dread. Actually, that'll just expire on its own, so I don't need to waste the turn. Mirror is repaired. It shines again as it did once before. Now, I probably still want to keep the talk verb open. I can turn in a commission for sure, but I am going to want to see the status of the evidence I have what the doctor requested. And we have a chance to show our stuff, so let's throw a health at it. Tonight they'll notice that. And to be honest, A Course of the Heart, I think we're still close to losing it, so I should probably just pay up right now, but let's see. If this ever reaches trial, I will be in serious danger. Even if this hunter is disposed of, another may find their notes. So, that is what Yzabet's going to deal with. This is one of the reasons I wanted to... I thought it was good that I didn't need to worry about the second dread, because I can move straight away to get rid of the damning evidence with one of my more powerful moth followers. So let's sort this all out. Trying my best to restore order without pulling away too much of our time together. Okay, so first things first, Yzabet, I know we work you hard, but it's because we believe in you. Significant conversations in a smoky meeting room. What do I need from my follower? We'll see what happens in a second or two. Okay, so no Course of the Hearts. I felt all their eyes upon me. Afterwards, I received a gift from an admirer, too gaudy for my tastes, but I can sell it in the second-hand market. So no point in tempting fate. Let's just pay for the medicine. And I do have an edge commission that I can do, so we will work on that now, but I think I missed the opportunity to, or didn't take the opportunity to be more accurate for another commission, so we'll have a little bit of a lag, but I think we can live with it. I think I also had said that I was maybe going to do a painting so that I could get the contentment, but that's fine. We'll work at the gaiety and then we'll figure out how to get a contentment. There may be other things that we can get contentment from. Be nice if I gave her the damning evidence. My scheme will most likely succeed. There's always a chance that something will go awry. Sun is setting. We look back across the desolation we crossed, and all the colors. All the colors it assumes in the evening light. Night falls. Stars prickle. The wind presses cold hands to our faces. Onwards. I've increased my knowledge of the secret histories behind the one we know. Now, this is a big deal for us. This is the top level of secret histories, and there's something special about it. So, Port Noon anecdote. Port Noon is where the long go to enjoy the sea and the sun, to drink from the spring that makes them forgotten, and to stay out of trouble. Mostly out of trouble. Stories you can hear in the Hotel Ciervo are golden dude, quintuple distilled toasts to memory, served straight up. So, much like any level 14 lore, this is unique. So what this means is that if I were to try and upgrade the Vagabonds map right now, I have the parts that I need. So I've got an erudition. The glimmering won't last long enough, but with a proper batch of commissions, we may be able to get the glimmering. And what I would do if I had an opportunity to get a Port Noon anecdote, like if I was working on the Vagabonds map right now, I would not give it the library so that my study would be stymied. And the reason for that is the same reason why we see the ritual or the rites vanish when we get a new one. If I were to make more than one Port Noon anecdote at the same time, I would essentially lose all that effort. So essentially what I want to do here is I want to have this habit of exploring a Port Noon anecdote before I really start moving up. Now the good news here is that we've got a bunch of books to read, so my study verb is certainly, there's no shortage of things to do with it. But on the other hand, it is actually quite helpful for me to have more Port Noon locations. So it's a mixed blessing. But in any case, we've achieved our first goal. More importantly, we've also got a backup. So we're going to, in the end, I think we're going to have 3 Port Noon anecdotes. So one we've already got, one that comes from this upgrade, and then we're going to move the Forbidden Epic up to an Unresolved Ambiguity. Unresolved Ambiguity is going to become another Vagabonds map. So we've got 4 in total. So we've got, 4 Vagabonds maps in total. Got 1 Port Noon anecdote, 2 each for the 4, so that's a total of 3 Port Noon locations. There's quite a few Port Noon locations, so it's still going to require some effort, but this is a pretty decent place to start with, I think. Now, for practical matters, let's work with the other books that we have. So starting with Medusa's Lament, on the death of the hour called 7 Coils, the father of the mother. Lock the study door, the work begins. And so, sorry, I think I was reading this. The sun is setting, we look back across the desolation we crossed, and all the colors it assumes in the evening light. Night falls, stars prickle, the wind presses cold hands to our faces. Onwards. So we've already got our forge up, so let's add the heart follower and hope for the best. Okay, another Season of Despair coming up. We've already got the 1 dread locked in to our Season of Despair, so not really an effect, but it would be nice if I could get this stuff resolved. I await word. Plenty of contentment there. We've got an edge commission to turn in when I can. And let's go to the Gaiety. Stage awaits hot and clean and bare and bright. If I move the moves and step the steps and do what is required, they'll pay me. Call upon the Forge of Days who will end all nights. We will almost certainly shatter this warded door. And we await word, but why am I not going through the Peacock door at this point? The Peacock's door reflects the mirror I hold in my sleep, and the mirror reflects the Peacock's door. Already a sensuous shiver ripples its surface. It aches for fracture, and when it finds that satisfaction, I will enter. Also, Yzabet stands alone. My minion has returned, the evidence has been destroyed. I am a little safer. Okay, we're on our way through our troubles. So let's start by turning in the commission. That's going to be Edge for Count Jannings. I have what was requested. We'll get a commission from Madame Bichet when we can. But I do need to do something to get me some contentment. So that may be an option for some painting. That may just be another activity. The good news is that it's just the 1 dread right now, and until I actually start reading these books, I'm not in danger of... Although I may get dread from the... I don't even remember if I'm on to the Worm Museum or the I guess I got Amaranthine Nectar recently. But then I also got a Vagabond's Map recently. I think I'm going to keep going to the Red Church for the next little while. Receive the currency of the secret world, and my patron has let tantalizing information slip. Now, we've got 3 Mystique, so I don't think it would hurt to try and do a painting. We'll see. She's seeking pieces for the notorious Karasham Review. Death of the door. All doors must open as all lives must end. This door has found its end here today. And a moth commission from Madame Bichet. Alright. So we've got Medusa's Lament. The question here is, do I want to risk reading some of these texts, or do I just want to do a translation batch until we deal with the dread? I think probably we should be careful about when we read certain books. So let's use our VAC to read or translate The Manner in Which the Alchemist Was Spared, a quasi-alchemical text in VAC. Lock the study door, the work begins. Now, what do I want to do with the talk verb? Probably repair a mirror, but let's double check that that's what I want the most. I think it is. Mirrors are calm, the sun is steady, the glory recedes. I'm saying if that means anything, it's over for now. And a free turn, so that's kind of nice. Felt all their eyes upon me. Afterwards I received a gift from an admirer. Too gaudy for my tastes, but I can sell it on the second-hand market. So I think this time I'm gonna risk a painting. I could turn in another commission to try and get a little more reputation, but I think in this case I'm willing to do something a little less. Let's do a painting on Cat Caro. Something to remember them by, perhaps. Okay, expedition continues. We're still waiting on the nuts. Still waiting on either a message saying we don't have enough money or that we've beaten the curse. Last night I visited the Red Church where the Grail conducts its feasts. The light through the stained glass windows was all the spectra of red, and the names of the Grail labored to birth a new desire, which had until today no name at all. I'm sticky with the memory of it, and this morning everything I see is tinted ruby. So I think we still have the fleeting reminiscence to get rid of this. Yeah, so let's just let's not play around with nasty influences. Let's not pay for the paints this time around. This may prove a costly choice, but I'm gonna risk it. Okay, Silver Spintrea I can give them. Call upon the Ringyu who is renewed. We are strong enough in heart to be almost entirely secure against this curse. And we prepared another text for study. Finally, we have not shirked. So I think we're going to keep with the same pattern. The focus of Amber, the penance work of Omar the Blaze. So a bunch of translation. That does mean that when we do get around to reading these, we're probably going to have a whole bunch of influences that that'll mess a bit with our emotional state. But it's the price we pay. My recent work is considered significant. I may yet earn a living from this, but nothing is certain. So 2 funds. I mean, it's what I would have gotten at the Gaiety potentially for about the same time. And we did get a staleness from that, so that's going to mean I want to put more passion into the next one. Okay, so I've got 63 seconds. This does mean I can sneak another commission in as well, which I'm going to do. I thought I had another level of moth, but apparently not. This may be useful for a commission. Curse shrivels. Our power is stronger than the power that was here. The curse won't touch us. Now, I can't recall if there are any curses in Port Noon, but I think we should feel a bit safer now. Okay, Dr. Adim wants a commission, so let's get one from him. The doctor would help with his research. And am I ready to go through the... Oh, we got a contentment as well, right. So yes, I'm a little more willing to go through the peacock door now. Another lantern commission, substantial this time, and we are going to get the Wildering mirrors repaired. So Season of Suspicion will probably catch us with a notoriety. That's life, right? I'll just accept the consequences, but we've gotten kind of unlucky as far as the timing for different like the different investigations. Anyways, the songs of the Carapace Cross, Micah Z or possibly Kai's often destroyed work. Lock the study door, the work begins. And Season of Vision's coming up, so I may want to be a little careful in terms of what I'm doing in the Mansus. Well, bit of good news here. It is... Oh no! I hit this space. I was too busy sipping tea. So that's going to have some financial consequences there, but let's do our best. The clouds part. The wolf despair prowls elsewhere. No dread empowers this despair. It's over for now. So we may get a little bit more lucky as far as the notoriety is concerned. Well, no, because that's still not enough time. Anyways, I finished the manuscript. We can turn that in with Madame Bichet when the opportunity arises, but I need to go back to the Gaiety so that I can make money, so... We'll use our passion to explain why we're good enough to keep going. I need the job back. I'll tell them I'll be different this time. Perhaps they'll understand. So at least it's 30 seconds, but still not 30 seconds. It's 30 seconds where I'm not earning money. So, Lagoons End. In the central chamber, Lagoon, the once immortal Long, to be continued. Each of the stained glass windows of the Red Church is devoted to a distinct appetite, and the scenes they show are from life. Last night, in one of the uglier windows, I saw the appetites of a certain public figure satisfied in private. I know he won't want this information made public. Perhaps he'll show me some consideration. So helpful, nice to have in your pocket, but in this case I can't say the favor from authority is that necessary given where we're at. Either way, in Central Chamber, Lagoon, the once immortal Long, lies peacefully naked on a sandalwood bier. He is perfectly preserved, a slender, dark-skinned man in excellent physical health, but at our approach he crumbles into blackened flakes like fallen leaves. Objects glint from the remains. And in 22 seconds we'll find out what those objects are. Don't think I have anything to do in the Mansus right now. We need to pay to repair the mirrors. Well, again, lucky with the draws. All right. Oh, my God. So for some reason I wasn't able to. Weird. Okay. Well, that's probably not going to affect us, I don't think. Uh, Maybe if I bring the Gaiety back. Ugh. Yeah, that's... Oh, no. Well, we can empty out this, so I'm definitely going to have to end this, I'm definitely going to have to end the playthrough here just because there's obviously some strangeness happening with the work verb, but that's fine, we'll work with it. We find a pocket watch, a book, a quantity of Algerian currency, all from our own era. He must have come and gone many times from this place before he resigned himself to his final rest. On the back of the watch, we see engraved the close eye of the long society called the Obliviots. So we've got the Alcapurine shears. In the north there is a city of great wealth, where dwelt a protector of the world. One day he fell silent. These shears were used to take from him first his hair, and then his fingers, and then what remained. So this will replace the dappled mask. It's going to start piling it up in the corner because it doesn't line up well. Azoth. Now this is a... No, hang on. This isn't the pigment. This is something different. Store this only in containers of a pure element and never permit it to grow warm. Perhaps it isn't the final solvent that alchemists sought, but it'll do for our purposes. Sorry, I was thinking of something different. The holiest hemolith. So, faint traces of an enigmatic substance spilt in the commission of an ancient crime, tightly sealed in a glass ampule. Who will remember the barber's son? So, Power 12. This does also have Remnant, but that's for another DLC. We have the voyages of Furnisham of Oriol, the impossible travels of a sea captain of the late Phoenician era, suppressed throughout recorded history. Those who read it were said to disappear. Now, this is an interesting one. I have a suspicion, I think one of these at least, gives you a fairly high-level secret histories, possibly even a Port Noon anecdote, which means, if I'm correct in that, I also think one of these gives a surprisingly low-level secret history. I think it's the Atlas of Dreams, if I recall correctly. But one of the, I guess, side effects for me is, or sorry, not side effects, but one of the things I find kind of interesting for the books, I always feel very nervous reading the secret histories like this when I already have a Port Noon anecdote on the table. So I very often will wait before reading a book like this, just on the odd chance that it is something that gives me a higher level secret history. Because again, I don't want to waste these. So, anyways, Atlas of Dreams. The shape of the world changes in each past, but the shape of the mantis is reflected in all of them. One cannot map the mantis, but one can make an attempt to map its reflections. Now this doesn't, you'll notice this might be a little hard to understand, but in this case, this has the text aspect, whereas this does not. This is a tool and a secret histories. So I suppose technically this should be replacing the paradoxical curio. But of course it looks like a regular book, so it can be deceiving. So the first thing we're going to do here, sorry, I did say that I was going to wrap it up here, but I do want to get this Port Noon anecdote explored, because otherwise I'm going to forget. And okay, it doesn't say. Across a bright far sea, Port Noon lies. Exiles, monsters, and visionaries have long favored the waters around it. Perhaps we shouldn't get too close, but it might be useful to get close enough. And on that note, we have some big things that we're going to be doing next week. But of course, that is going to be left for another time. It should be Friday's episode tonight. I'm very tired, and I think we've got a weekend ahead of us. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. As always, I do apologize. I suspect the last couple of videos may have been a little airheaded on my part, and that's just because I didn't manage my time well tonight. I do like to try and make sure that I have these videos ready to go, and it's better to record them in batches, I find. So if it was a little off-putting to have these previous ones, I do apologize, and I'll do my best to be a little bit of a better manager of my time moving forward. But either way, hopefully you manage your time well this weekend. I hope you get everything that you want done, and more importantly, have some time for yourself. I'll be back Monday, so please take care until then, and we'll see you in the next one.